Tell us who you are, just in a couple of sentences. I mean, where are you from? What have you done? That type of thing.
Okay. So, well, I would say if I had to sum myself up, I'll be a person who loves the earth and loves people. You know, my name is interesting. My daddy named me Dimitrius with all eyes, right? So it's different than traditional Dimitrius. It's with ease. And the meaning of my name is lover of the earth. And so the way that I operate here is just, it goes right in line with my name.
How long have you been here?
I've been here in Dallas. My mother moved us out here in '87.
Okay.
So I was about 11 years old.
Okay.
And then we moved, and she moved us to Pleasant Grove. And so in Pleasant Grove was when I really learned about, quote unquote, big city life.
Okay.
Right.
Because you came from where again?
So we were in Galveston, Houston area, because a lot of my family is in Houston.
Yeah.
And Galveston as well. So from Galveston to the surrounding towns, Lamarck, Texas City, Dickinson, Clear Lake, League City.
Yeah.
Go up to 3rd Ward, South Park, Katy.
Oh, wow.
You know, and then my father is from a small town right outside of Katy called Columbus, Texas.
Okay. And you've been the fitness guru. I say the guru because, man, I mean, that is your life. I mean, you love doing that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that since 2006.
Wow.
2006. I started off in Houston. So it's interesting. I was working for corporate America and chasing money.
Okay.
Right, young and chasing money. And
were you doing that when you were in corporate America?
No. I my experience with exercising was growing up. My mother was she was what they call a sports like bodybuilder.
Yeah.
So she had us in this gym back in the day. It was called Thurman's Gym back in Oak Cliff off of Ledbetter.
Okay.
And so she used to work out with bodybuilders. So she used to take us with her. So we had to do karate and we would have to work out because that's what she was into. And so my introduction to fitness was through her, you know, during her bodybuilding phases. But she was never like a bodybuilder.
Exactly.
But she actually worked.
Very fit.
Right. Then, you know, she worked out in that type of environment. So that's where I got the foundation. And then I have cousins that especially one of my cousins, man, we just took it somewhere else, you know. So we started working out at early ages. Like me and my cousin stopped drinking soda at 12.
Whoa.
You know, because we were it was interesting. We actually saw one of my cousins get like this little rash on his arm. And so we asked our aunt, what is that? And she said, that's a soda worm. And I was like, a soda worm? So we heard soda and worm. I don't know what it was. It could have been a ringworm.
Yeah.
But a soda worm. And we looked at each other, man, we got to stop drinking soda. And then we stopped drinking soda. So, and this same cousin, Dakir Bey, you know, he's my cousin. We actually call it, we're known as twin cousins.
Okay.
Our birthdays 4 days apart, like very, very similar, very similar. And we're like the, I don't want to say black sheep in the family, but
yes.
But we're the two that distinctly different in our family. As pertains to fitness, health, you know, work, you know, teaching and being the example of what it looks like.
Yeah.
You know, because I remember my cousin growing up, he said, "Man, I want to look like an action figure." And we were like, "Wow."
Yeah, but you meant, I mean, he meant it too.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So he went on to Navy, went to Naval Academy, played football for them, and then when he came back, you know, we reconnected, and it's like we just picked everything back up.
Wow.
And then he's part of the mentoring program. You know, he actually, I started it in the beginning because he was living in a different city, but then when he moved back to Dallas, you know, that's when everything picked up.
Wow.
And then we started doing our work at the juvenile jails.
Okay.
We're dealing with fitness and recreation and mentoring, you know, too. So our background in that, my mother got us a mentor when I was 14. So she took us to Friendship West Baptist Church.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Okay. I know that church
Friendship
well.
West.
Yeah.
So they had a program called Operation Black, and we were a part of that program. So they created a basketball team for us, and we would travel around playing like Pilgrim Rest and Antioch teams and rec teams and all of that. But what they did, they used the basketball to get us to get into the mentoring program so we can come. And then after that, you know, the brothers would get us and start the process of teaching.
Wow.
You know, so I was the only one to finish though. Out of all of my cousins, my oldest brother, I was the only one who finished out. You know, you got cousins going in different directions. With,
Yeah.
You know, hustling, you know, gang life, street life, that type of thing. Or some of them, they just, I don't want to do it, you know. So what I learned from that was, it was the first time I had ever seen black men that were spiritual. Like, you don't have to have sex with that girl if you don't want to, son. I'd never heard that before. You know, like I'm talking from something as simple as that. You don't have to be in a gang if you don't want to, you know, so they're communicating options. You have options at all times. It doesn't matter what situation you're in or where you live, you always have options. Just because this is set up in this environment doesn't mean you don't have an option, you know. So that's where I started to get the different types of thought processing of life. So I can really do whatever I want to do, like it's up to me. But the basketball and the mentor program kept us away from the streets. So we didn't get caught up in the gangs and all that type of stuff because we were always moving, doing something. Like our mentor, staying busy. Our mentor Seth Bailey, I still talk to him today. That man travels the world, you know, and we still have a great relationship. So he was one of the pivotal figures in my life from 14 all the way up.
Oh, wow.
Right.
I mean, that's a good thing, though.
Operation Black.
Operation Black. Growing up in Galveston, Houston, Dallas, what were your earliest perceptions of police officers, Dimitrius, and how have those perceptions really evolved for you over the years?
Before I moved to Dallas, I wasn't even conscious of law enforcement or police, actually. I actually didn't get introduced to police until I moved to Pleasant Grove, because the environment was different.
Yeah.
You got the gang life, the street life, the drug life, going to schools that are considered high risk population.
Yeah.
You know, low educational, you know, schools and all of that. So I didn't really know up until I started. We moved here, and then I started being in these environments and going to schools that was obviously different. Because when we first moved there, they should tell us we talk like white boys. Really? Yeah. Different diction, a different way of talking, because you've been in different environments. Right. So they're looking at us like, man, you sound like a white boy. Let me tell you something. It's funny you say that, and every interview is different for me. When I came here, my parents were divorcing. I came here from Baltimore. My father was career Army. And I remember I came to the Fair Park area of Dallas. My mother, my brother, and I lived with my grandmother. A couple of years later, my mother remarried, and then we have our sister. Dimitrius, I was getting into fights every day from what you just said. Dudes that came up to me saying, hey, you talking like you white, like you want to be. So it was a fight. It's a fist fight every day. Coming home, clothes torn up. And didn't want to fight these guys, but my grandmother basically told me, hey, look, you either stand up and fight, or when you get home, you're going to have another fight. Right. So you understand what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. And that actually brought me to, at Friendship West meeting, Jawanza Kanjufu. Okay. So he actually wrote a lot of books about the black youth. And so I still have this book that he autographed. It's called To Be Popular or To Be Smart, the Black Peer Guru. Wow. And from that, when I read that book at 14, I'm reading this, and this man is writing out how for us, especially in like poverty-stricken areas, exactly, you have to make a decision if you want to be popular or to be smart, like they can't be joined together and be both. I didn't learn about the both until I got older. But the way that my mother raised me, if I made a B, I was put on punishment.
Wow.
So the standard was A's.
Exactly,
for me.
yeah.
But the way she did it with my siblings was different. With me, it was A's. My oldest brother, it was like, yeah, I mean, he bring home C's, B's, and A's. And then my youngest brother, combination of B's and A's. But for me, it was A's. So I used to get put on punishment for that. Mm-hmm. And so what I learned was standards, obviously, from that. You know, but it also put me in a position to where, like, man, I really don't want to do what these people do, because I don't resonate with that. Like, I really can't. I'm not a banger. Mm-hmm. I'm not a gang banger. That type of life, I can't do that. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't even drink soda. You know, so I'm gonna drink alcohol. You know, that's not the word. Uh-huh. You know, I'm not going around, you know, fighting people, talking crazy, and you know, over the course of time, being young, you know, you pick up on slang. Start using the word, you know, start using the N-word,
yes,
and stuff like that, because you're in that environment, so you're learning how to communicate.
And you wanting to be part of that clique to a degree. I mean, to be accepted, that's part of that.
And what I learned with that too is, once they see who you are, actually don't want you to be a part of it. So they were like, well, this ain't you, so you good. Yeah. So we never had to worry about
that experience too,
part,
because
right.
my stepfather, when he was raising us, you know, you had guys in my neighborhood, or guys that I was gravitating towards, that basically told me the same thing. Mm. They knew who my parents were. They knew who, you know, how our family life was. No, you're fine. You stay over there. Yeah. Because we don't want that problem coming over here, you know. And, you know, my father pretty much raised us like that. He had a certain set of standards. Mm-hmm. He would laugh if he saw this video because he knows I got it. Those standards were ingrained, and so I couldn't be with different groups of people knowing what those standards were. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so in the beginning phases of policing, my only interaction was experiencing white police officers drive through. But then when they drove through, they was always coming for somebody. Yeah. So my perception is, okay, so the white people come in, and then they pick up either the gangbanger or the drug dealer, or the boys around my age who, you know, hustling on the corner. Yeah. Because it was so easy to get caught up. Yeah. Because you have an older guy come to you and say, hey D, come here real quick. Hey, you see that dude over there? Hey man, give him this. Uh-huh. You don't think nothing of it. You just go over there and give it to him. Yeah. And then when you come back, hey man, here go $20. Man, go to the store, buy you some candy or something. And you like, okay. You know, you got $20. You know, you go to the store, you spend it on candies, snack, chips, and whatever you're gonna buy. You know, your cousin's there, and you were spending his money, and they see you again. They do the same thing, and then it becomes an expectation on both sides, because you've been getting a little money. Exactly. And then on the other side, you know, you've been groomed. The next thing you know, you get a little older, and all that changed. Yep. Yeah. You know, it changes.
Different expectations. Right. Different demands.
Mm. So when people say, I don't understand how he even got there, it was a process. It's process. And in the end,
that's an interesting point.
It was actually innocent. Yeah. Really. Like, but you looking at, I got $20 and I'm 10. Yeah. Or 12 or 13. Yeah. And I saw him 3 times and I got $60. I ain't do nothing but just take it over there to that person. Yeah. And that's all I did. So this is easy money, like they say, it's easy money. And then over the course of time, you get groomed, you get more responsibility. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, the way they talk to you totally different. Yeah. You know, now you on the corner, you on the front line, something pop off, you go to jail, you take the rap.
That's expected too.
It's expected. Yeah. And if you don't fall in line, then you know what comes with it.
Exactly. So you're dealt with.
Now you feel stuck.
Yeah.
And you're scared, you don't want to get out, but you do. And it's complex, you know, so, but that's over the course of time. Like, you get groomed. Nobody just goes in and just go in the corner. Yeah. Like, that, you know, when people talk about it, like, it's not that simple. It's not that simple.
But you know, you present an interesting perspective just from that angle. Mm-hmm. This is the process. This is what takes place to get you from point A to point B to point C, finally to point D.
Mm-hmm. And then after that, once your mother start, or your grandmother, whoever's raising you, start figuring things out.
Yeah.
Well, how does this boy buying this stuff?
It's too late then.
And then they ask some questions, and then you're like, oh, grandma, don't worry about it, man. I'm not doing anything, because in your head, you're really not.
Yeah.
You're really not.
Yeah.
I'm just passing this to this person, and then he giving me money, he looking out. You
Yeah.
expect to ask, hey man, are y'all good? Y'all got food? Your mama good? Your grandma good? And you like, man, we ain't really have no food. You know, everybody's situation different.
Exactly.
That wasn't my my life, but I have.
But you
friends,
knew people who
right,
had lives
who
like that. Yeah.
And he was like, man, my mama working 3 jobs and she don't be here, so we ain't had no food. Man, hold on, man, go ahead.
Yeah. Wow.
And then you feel like that they're taking care of you.
Yeah.
Because they are, but they also grooming you at the same time.
Exactly. They know it. Look, there's expectations. They know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. You know,
it's just sometimes we don't find out until it's too late.
Right.
Yeah.
And so my perspective was warped because I'm in that environment. So I'm looking at white police officers as the ones that come in to take black people. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not factoring in that they're out there hustling.
Exactly.
Now I'm clear on what they're doing.
Yes. But
the interactions, you know, they come through, talk to you crazy, even if you're not doing it.
Yeah.
But if you're in the area, then everybody get treated the same. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, because you're seen as whoever you hang with, which goes back to what my grandparents used to say.
Yeah.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, if you want to show me who you are, then show me the people you hang with.
Yeah.
You know, that type of stuff. But when you're young, you don't get it because you live there. So you have ties with a lot of people that you don't have those issues with. Yeah. You know, he's gangbanging, but that's my boy.
Yeah.
Well, he my cousin. I can't leave him out there. You know, then you get caught up in crossfire.
There you go.
You know, with that. So so police. I didn't have any interactions that were positive. Like police officers coming through. I didn't see a black police officer until I was grown. Well, hold on. I take that back. I actually saw until I got to high school.
Really?
I went to Spruce High School.
Okay, so was he working there?
It was a female.
Oh, it was a she. Okay, so a female was working.
Black female officer.
Okay.
So she was. We didn't know what it was called. She worked for Dallas PD, but I think they call them resource.
Yeah, school resource officers. Yeah.
So
back then, I don't know what we call them.
Right. Yeah. You know, but I remember she was repping Dallas PD. You know, and because we had metal detectors in our schools and everything. From junior high school, we had that. So going to Spruce. She would be there in the front, always nice, beautiful black woman too.
Yeah.
So now the interaction is like, wow.
Yeah,
beautiful black woman who an officer, but I didn't really see her as a police officer. I saw her as a black woman.
Okay.
Really, because she didn't treat us like she was an officer.
Yeah.
So an officer to me was what the white officers do. That was to me was the stereotypical police officer.
Okay.
But with her, it was like, man, she was a beautiful black woman that was there. That I used to love to see whenever we would go through the metal detector.
Yeah.
You know, and she was always nice. She would check you, but she was coming from a different place.
Exactly.
You know, so that was my first interaction that way, which was positive. But I didn't see it as like it was a difference between the two, really, because I really didn't deal with the white officers because I wasn't around and getting in trouble.
Yeah.
But when I did see it, it was always it was aggression. But I don't. In hindsight, if you're going into an area where gunplay is prevalent, and I can see how you come in a certain way. You know, because fear,
certain attitudes. Yeah.
All of that matters. You know too. So, and then. In Mesquite, I saw some things in Mesquite where some white officers. We was at one of my little cousins' Pop Warner football games.
Okay.
So it was stereotypically Pleasant Grove a black team, Mesquite a white team. I'll say it that way.
Okay.
And you know, somehow the coaches on the other side start firing verbal shots across. Man, that boy not 12 years old. you know, and then depending on who you're talking to, boy can be taken a whole bunch of ways.
Absolutely,
you know?
yeah.
You know, so that just led to the coaches getting into it. Next thing you know, the coaches down the field, fight about to break out. And then right before that, the head coach on the other team pulled his badge out. I'm a police officer. Next thing you know, six units come. So they put the other coach, they put him in like ties. Put him in ties, his children crying and stuff, because now this is a payback type of situation.
Oh, the zip ties, yeah.
It was all verbal.
Yeah.
It wasn't a fist fight, but it got that bad, you know. So you got all these children crying, you know, who on the team, the coaches, children crying, they think the daddy going to jail, and then you got everybody else on this side, you know, the white people looking at us, we looking at them, and then everybody talking and, you know, talking crazy to each other, and just that type of moment, you know, that huge divide.
Yeah.
You know, so that was an experience. So that was in my early 20s. I witnessed that. So I didn't have any positive experience outside of the Dallas PD police officer when I was in high school until I moved away from Dallas and came back.
Wow.
And then when I started working with the police academy, the law enforcement academy,
yes,
that's when I started to meet different types of police officers, retired officers, sheriffs, constables, troopers. You start seeing different types of law enforcement agents.
From big agencies, from small agencies.
Right.
That gave you a different perspective then.
Yeah, because the thought processes and mindset of like a state trooper is totally different from like a local officer.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, it's not even the same.
Yeah.
You know, their thought process on
how they handle things.
How they handle things.
Yes.
Being ready, stay ready. You don't have to get ready. I heard that a lot.
Yeah.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready, because for them, their help may be 15 to 30 minutes away.
There you go, because they're out there on that road by themselves a lot of the time.
You know, so they don't have backup that's like that.
Yeah.
So their take on physical fitness and wellness is totally different than
the local cop.
Average.
Average local cop. Yeah.
Right, it's not the same.
Wow.
You know, so the expectations are higher.
Well, Dimitrius, you learned something from that though. Yeah. Just being around the different police officers.
Just being around them. So I got to see the small agencies like you mentioned.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are great people working for small agencies, but the agency is just too small for them.
Yes, yeah.
And then you see the flip where the agency that's small is perfect for a certain person, you know, because of their personality.
Yeah.
You know, and then you see people working in the big agencies who the agency is too big really, but they like to thrive on having the brand.
Yeah.
On there. So, you know, they're all that bravado and they walk around strutting and stuff, and because of who they work for, but their interaction with the people is horrible. You know, and so I just being able to sit back and
that takes you back to what you saw when you were in Dallas, younger then. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So as someone who trains future police officers at the academy, I mean, that's a huge responsibility. What do you see as the most critical qualities a cadet must develop to become an effective and respected police officer? When you think on those terms, what's your answer there?
I think the first one, I'll use the word critical.
Okay.
A person who have critical thinking skills.
Okay.
Like a person who can walk into a situation, even if they don't have the information, you know, first from dispatch, and be able to walk into the situation and then just observe first before they even talk. Yeah. Just take your time, watch, you know, look. So what do I see going on? And then start processing what possibilities are. And then when you engage, whoever you're gonna engage, ask questions, like ask genuine questions. Yes. Don't ask the basic, ma'am, what's going on? You know, that type of thing. Like come from a place like, ma'am, are you okay? Yeah, yeah. Because I got this call, so can you just share, you know, what the situation is? Mm-hmm. So what are you going through? And then just listen. Or especially for males, because a lot of times we handle the males different. This is true. We handle the males different. So a dude come in, we not being general, you know, with them. We coming in firm.
Yeah, exactly.
We want to reaffirm who the alpha and the type of stuff. But I think a lot of times we can just go in and just learn how to be able to have empathy as much as you can. Be able to listen, see what's being said, and then place yourself there, but still ask all the necessary questions to be able to get a resolution. Yeah. And you don't have to be hard and talk crazy to people, just for them to respect you. You can just ask a lot of questions, which we should anyway, because 97% of the job is de-escalation and communication.
That's the big thing.
So if that's majority, then we should be working from a defensive mindset, and the way that we move in should be defensive first, versus offensive. Yes, because it always boggled me, even today when I have conversations with Chief Lawton and other officers who are retired or not, and I tell them, and when we do PT and when we do a arrest and control, and we're doing baton strikes, I never understood how you can approach somebody, swing, and tell them, stop resisting, get back, when you're approaching them.
That's a pretty good question,
yes. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah. How am I approaching you, walking toward you with a baton, swinging on you, telling you, get back, stop resisting? Versus if the person comes to you, if you want to pull it out, you want to expand it, and then give a caution, sir, hey, what are you doing? You can have them conversations. Sir, what are you doing? Sir, you don't want to do that. Come on, hold on now. Like, have real conversations. But I know the moment is the moment, though. Yes. So whoever you are, you're going to communicate the way you communicate. Exactly. But the biggest part of that, though, is if you out of shape, then you already sized that person up. And if you know that you can't, you're going to go to your belt. It is undeniable. Yes. But if you are, the tendency of you to go here lessens. So the worse shape you in, the more that a person will use their tools. But when you use your tools a lot, then your methods of communication decreases, because you don't feel that you need to, because you're always scared. So you're walking around scared every day, fearful. Yeah. So when people say, man, I was scared for my life, they're not lying, because they're looking at that person and it's like, man, I won't be able to take him. Yeah. I won't be able to do it. I know I won't be able to do it. So it's like one of those situations where we have to make sure that when we get our cadets and get our officers in these spaces, we really have to push. It's beyond pushing de-escalation. It's about, who were you when you woke up this morning? What was going on with you? Yeah. Like, did you wake up and you were like, no, I ain't really feeling today, but I'm gonna go ahead and just make it happen, because I got to go to work. Because that's the energy that you give across when people interact with you. Absolutely, and they see that, don't they? And feel it. Yeah. You come around, when you walk up and a person frowns, that's a reason. Yeah. And you haven't said anything. Yeah. That means you carried all of that with you. So then they're looking at you with a little frown, but then you looking at them, well, what you frowning up at me for? So now you looking at them like they're a threat. They're looking at you like, man, you came here messed up. And you're giving a perspective that few people actually give, and I think the audience needs to hear.